Right, where do I even begin with this stupidity we've got going on now, thanks to obviously Boris Johnson and of course Emmanuel Macron? I guess I should start by saying don't listen to the media when it comes to food shortages and all that nonsense. The lorries being stopped are from the European Union, meaning they have dropped off foods or goods here and are trying to get back home. The French are essentially shooting themselves in the foot, and the EU in general, most likely thanks to Brexit, but it could be other things. Of course, the media and all reports about it will be focused on Dover like it's the only port in the country, when there are many other ports going to many other countries who have not blocked freight shipments, so food can still come in. This is literally just at the French border. Now, to me, it seems like this has fuck all to do with any health risks and is simply a bit of political bullshit relating to Brexit and many other things, like I said. The French government, as we all know, are particularly salty about Brexit not going their way because they want to continue raping the UK's fish stocks with other EU nations. They won't accept any drop in quotas, with Boris even apparently ready to offer them 2/3 of the current quotas in what can only be called a Brexit fisherman's sellout. The EU at most should have 10% of their current quota in any trade deal, and even that is being generous. I mean, let's be honest, the EU don't need any of the current fishing quotas because British fishermen can sell the fish to EU nations themselves. In fact, if I was Boris Johnson, this would be a fucking given, but as we have seen this year, Boris does not serve the British people or common sense. The way I see it is, if the EU want British fish, they buy it from British fishermen. It's pretty simple, really. The EU actually has more coastline than the UK by some margin. It's not our fault the UK waters contain some of the best fishing grounds. And as far as I'm concerned, the EU is not entitled to any of it, so 10%, like I said, was being generous. We all need to remember we're a trading nation, so like other countries around the world, they can buy fish directly from us and import it into their own countries. And the EU, being as close as it is to us, means they do not even need to fish our waters or even get it sent around the world, so by default are in a better position than most of the other countries. We can literally sell what we don't use ourselves to them, and as they are so close, they will often get first choice by British fishermen, able to deliver fresh British fish direct to their ports. Now, since these reports earlier, the EU have actually indicated that they will reject Boris Johnson's 2/3 of their current quota offer because they are obviously greedy cunts, meaning a no-deal Brexit and zero rights to fish in the UK should obviously be the default now. If Boris had a set of bollocks, that would be the case anyway. Personally, the fact he offered 2/3 in the first place shows me he is happy to sell out the fishermen and 17.4 million people in general, but let's be honest, we knew that anyway. A real leader would be stating, like I said, you get 10% at the very most, and even that is being over generous. If you don't like it, we walk away, and WTO terms it is. And in all honesty, he should have long since fucked off the EU talks and focused on dealing with other nations just as close, but outside it, like Norway in regards to fishing. We actually have top relations with Norway, and they control their own fishing waters among other key economic assets, so operate outside of the EU in many things. We should also remember that there are near 180 other countries in the world that are outside the EU, so I'm sure we can find trade with them to cover the loss of trade with 27 countries if the EU really wants to play silly buggers. And doing that would eventually force the EU to wind their necks in and do a real free trade deal with no bullshit involved. To me, it seems like Boris clearly wants the bullshit involved in the deal, but wants it to look like he delivered an actual Brexit, so his tenure is not seen as a complete failure as it will be in every other aspect. Him being crowned Britain's worst Prime Minister ever is almost solidified at this point. In fact, for many, he will never be able to shake that label, even if he is to get a WTO Brexit, which at this point has about a 0.01% chance of happening. There is, of course, a 99% chance he sells us out, though.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors, slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires, and that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going, and we are glad to be going. We're off.